friends because they want to be assisted. Their social network is really good. So when it comes to food, they share. They are very good and they survive. They survive.
But without help, these kids face a bleak future. 4 years ago, a group of former street children returned to the dump site to see how they could help.
Nobody wants to associate with the street children. Nobody is ready to go down to the dump site. They fear that place. They say, oh, you will be mugged. You will die there, don't go there. As a former street boy, I felt that actually we are the right people to do this work because we understand very well that for a boy to come on the street or a girl, there's some problems at home. Because even ourselves, we face the same problem. That's why we landed on the street.
Using their own money and initiative, the former street boys set up an organisation called X Street, which began running simple and effective programs that make a real difference.
We are really doing a lot of activities. We write their case histories, identifying who is sick, identifying who was knocked by the vehicle yesterday. We get the real information concerning a child. So we are also doing a big job when it comes to reunification because we are like the central office.
She has a sister who is married.
Save the Children came to Eldoret in response to the post-election violence and then came into contact with X Street soon after.
The key thing about X Street is they're here on the ground all the time. They know these children inside out. They've been through it themselves. They've just got real empathy with the kids, lovely rapport with them. There's a real sense of like that is kind of their only family.
They protect us so much and they take care of us and they're just fighting for us because they want to build our life and we love them so much.
Our teachers are former street children themselves. They help us, sometimes with clothes, sometimes just by coming to see us.
One of the greatest things is that X Street are really willing to give their time. They're absolutely passionate about changing the lives of these children. You know, the running costs are absolutely minimal.
So he's asking, can he be taken back home tomorrow?
Without money, it is a hard job. But we managed, defied the odds. It's a big problem. But it can be easily solved. Because for the upkeep of a child, it's not a lot.
One of the greatest things is actually how far money will go here. X Street have got absolutely no funding. There's a small NGO that gave them a one-off token, which actually enabled them to get their office up and running. It's a tiny office. It's got a very small room with a few toys. There's a rule that they're not allowed to bring glue into the centre. But they've done a phenomenal job with the limited resources that they've had. And they just really need that boost. And, you know, it's only a little, but they need to really change the lives of these children.
But getting these kids off the streets and helping to build a future for them takes much more. Most are deeply traumatized by their experiences, and many are suffering the long-term effects of solvent abuse.
I take glue to forget everything that happened at home.
The outside world, it needs to come in to maybe assist by building homes for them, because now that's the only place they can get support. You can't rehabilitate them when they are on the street. And they have to be treated so that they can withdraw from, because the withdrawal from glue is not easy. So they need some treatment, psychological and medical.
Glue is terrible, and I really want to leave it.
These kids are desperate to leave the streets, and it wouldn't take much to make it happen.
Healthcare's not free in this country. For just 50p, you could get a medical prescription. So that could be, for example, the treatment for malaria.
Books, uniform, love I go.
I know the budget of school.
There's no education for these children at all, and all of them are crying out to go back to school, and that's probably the number one thing that they're really saying. But, you know, for most of them, they haven't got a uniform, and that's a massive barrier. Without uniform here, you won't be admitted.
I need uniform, shirt and socks, school uniform. Yes, shoes.
For £35, we're looking at a brand new school uniform, including shoes, socks, blazer and everything. One of the other things is food. These children are hungry. We were talking about how we could do a feeding programme, and if we had a cook, we could provide 3 meals a day for less than £3 a day, which is really going to go a long way. And if we had £350, we could actually buy a recreation kit which would occupy maybe about 2,000 children, and that's full of toys, balls, paints, pencils, pens.
Pole. Uliza ball.
£400, we're looking at a child protection officer who could actually work purely on a tracing and reunification programme. So using the case histories that we've gathered, we could actually get those children back to their homes and back into their schools.
I used to feel jealous when I saw other kids enjoying themselves. But now I realise that's just how life is.
Here in street, the children are just like other children who they have their homes and they're just talented like them.
Somebody save me, please. Because my head is it's rounding. Because I am hearing something in my head is not pressure. Because of glue. I want rest.
There are hundreds of thousands of children just like these all over Kenya. And I also know that there are hundreds of appeals for worthy causes. But the pictures you're just about to see go to prove just how much difference a small contribution can make to these children's lives. Sky One and Save the Children have ensured that the monies raised will go directly to helping the children you've just seen and others like them. Please, call the number below and give what you can.
For more information and exclusive content, including a day in the life of a street kid and a candid interview with Ross, head to sky.com/Sky1. Next tonight, a bruised Rocky hangs up his gloves and turns to coaching. A real-life fighter